Well, hello. This is John the Train Man. It's been a long time, about 2 years, since I posted a video, and a lot has changed in that time. About the time I was getting started on my first layout, we decided to sell our house and move. So now what I've got is a new train room. This is actually a lot better than the other setup. It's all one continuous room. And I guess to start out with, I'll take you just on a little tour around the Benchwork, give you an idea of what I'm thinking about. As you can see, maybe, we've got an area over here, a peninsula sort of comma-shaped, a set of benchwork that goes along the back wall with a large peninsula coming out in the center, and then kind of a mirror image on this side where I've got another sort of comma-shaped piece of benchwork. My thought is to have a yard over in this section. You can see I've got some track laid there, just sort of checking out to see what kind of spacing will work and so forth. Pretty much the main line would come around the curve there on the back side toward the wall. The yard would be toward the front then. Then the main line would continue on around, and in that far section there would be a roundhouse and turntable. Alright, so the roundhouse and turntable would be right about in this area right here. The main line would continue along the back side and head down this peninsula on the right hand side, loop around, come back on the left, make a quick loop, and then head down the front of that particular bit of benchwork and actually be in front of the yard. I'm thinking of having the yard somewhat elevated so that I don't have people reaching across the main line to work the yard. This peninsula right here would hold an industrial park that would take up most of the space from right to left, actually. The main line on the left-hand side would be along a backdrop, scenic divide that would keep it separate from probably 3/4 to 7/8 of the area here that you see, which would be the industrial park. The spur for the industrial park would take off the main line right about in here. By the way, what you're seeing underneath all this is an HO layout I'm working on for my grandnephew. So anyway, this would be a major industrial park area, lots of switching, hopefully keep somebody busy for quite a while. So now the main line then comes along here. Remember, this is where the yard is. Main line comes along the outside edge, turns, goes on down this way, and all the way to the other end. I'm actually going to join those two pieces of benchwork. That's why I've got that board there on an angle. I'm just not exactly quite sure what angle I'm going to put that at. Whatever would carry 2 or possibly 3 main lines of track is what that's going to be. But anyway, the main line would continue along the front edge of the far benchwork, come around out onto this peninsula, loop around on this side of it, around the far side there to the back wall, and right to the left of that light switch is going to be a hole, and into that hole will go 2 lines from the main line, one coming from each direction, that will go through there and into my workshop area where I will have staging. So staging trains in there, they can come out, go either direction on the main line. Okay, the main line would then continue along the back side here, probably climbing at this point along the back side here, and then when we get to the large peninsula in the center, it's going to go out and loop around, and I'm thinking on that end there's going to be some sort of wow factor, maybe wooden trestle, some sort of high bridge. I'm not just exactly sure what, but something that would people would really notice when they come in. Then the line will continue on back the back side of that peninsula, loop around here, go along the back side here, and then come back into the yard. So that's the basic idea. I'd welcome any comments, any thoughts. I'm not interested in a whole lot of mainline running. There's going to be lots of passing sidings, some double track main, some single track main. More than just this industrial park in this area. I do want to have several different switching opportunities located throughout the layout, so I can keep several people busy, but for those that like to loop the trains around, I want to be able to do that too. Mainly freight operation, but with some passenger, both local and through passenger. So that's the plan right now. I feel really good about this. I've been able to stay pretty steady at it for the last couple of months, except for the month of February, where we were out west, got to ride the California Zephyr back from Sacramento, and the Southwest Chief out to Los Angeles. So that was the highlight of our winter, and we got to miss the cold, cold February here in Ohio. So that's the idea. That's what I'm looking at. Any thoughts would be appreciated. Distances here from that wall around to the wall where the yard is, it's about 25 feet. And my depth here from this back wall to the end of the benchwork is about 13.5, although the area that's over top of the HO layout adds about 4.5 feet by 8.5 feet. So I've got that little bit of section sticking out there. So that's where I am, and I'm going to proceed on from there and start figuring out where the tracks are going to go for sure, and put my risers in and start putting some sub-road bed down. Really want to get busy running trains. Thanks for watching, and I hope to have another update video a whole lot sooner than the last one. Thanks again.